start off by shouting out my newest patron, Andrew Grove. He joined my Patreon just after I had filmed or recorded my last video, but before I edited, so you would have seen his name on the starting list there. But now I have the opportunity to shout him out. So thank you for joining at the movies nerd level, and if you haven't already, then take a look at my Patreon and see if you're interested in supporting my channel, and look at the perks that come with that. Hello there and welcome. It is time for the first battle report post balance update, and for this battle report we're going back to kind of the original release models. So we have Republic on one side with Obi-Wan, his squad as is, Anakin, his squad as is, and then Dooku and Asajj with their squads are going to be taking them on. They won the roll-off, they got first, so they picked shifting priorities, and this is the layout that we got. So I'm going to be trying to go a little bit quick because I'm doing this after kids' bedtime, and I also should be going to bed in hopefully around 2 hours, so let's get started. And we're getting a first turn Kalani, so that is great for the Separatists, and I have positioned Kalani so that he is within range 4 of everybody. So let's see, I might actually, what I might do is actually send this guy, let's see here, let's see, no, this guy is going to go up, and this guy is going to go forward, and this guy is also going to go forward, and same with this one. Now Kalani is in a little bit of a weird spot here with that giant building in the way, so he may need to be doing a climb. So what point would we rather take with our tactical network? Probably this side. I don't think take cover even really helps us too much. We'll pay 1 for tactical network and have this guy move over here. Should get him to the ingress point and up to be claiming that objective. He's gonna have to do a climb. Oh yeah, they'll get a hunker too, but Kalani will get a hunker, but not be within that. So we are actually only going to be controlling 2. I guess we'll switch these. First player is supposed to be blue, but all their cards are red, so we'll keep that like that, and blue there. Okay, so that's turn 1 for the Separatists. 501st. So, I mean, the 501st have free range to grab these 2 points, and I think that's what they'll do. If I do, yeah, I'm okay with splitting up supports on shifting priorities, especially. So we'll do our hunkers. They're gonna get a hunker. B1s and Kalani are getting a hunker. So this one is going to do a little dance here, where he comes over to the ingress. This one's just going to move forward. And then that's with defensive maneuver. And then move action. Get up here. Let's kind of in the middle of a bit here. He's going to do move action over there, this ladder, and up, and I think he's out of range of Kalani. But I think he'll shoot Kalani because we got an early pin, right? So pin's good on Kalani. He'll shoot him. He'll shoot Magnas. Make sure where are my tools here. Okay. We'll start with the shot on Kalani. Now, not within two of, not quite. Two of the Magnas, but they are hunkered, so he will get an extra 2 dice from that because he's on terrain at the same elevation. So that'll be 6 for Kalani. And then we have 8 or 7. 7 for battle first. Now, yeah, we're not going to be in range of Cody for the rerolls on this one, but I don't think we would have been in range to shoot before that. But we are getting no fails. And I rolled too many dice, though. Of course, I rolled 8 instead of 7. There we go. And now there's a couple fails. Okay, so 2 expertise. What is their, or 1 expertise? What's their new expertise? It's probably one crit. So that's nice. 2 expertise on Kalani is 1 block. So the 3 crits will get through on this. And so that will be, let's do 3 damage, pin and a shove. That is the dream. Shove them off, pin them so they can't move back. He's going to shoot Magna Guard. They're rolling 5. And 7 again on the offense. 5 on defense. Oh, there's our no fail roll again. But no fails on defense either. So 2 for 2. Oops. Those are all blocks now. 3 expertise on 501st is now a crit and a hit. So that's giving us 6 results, but 3 of them are hits getting blocked, so the 3 crits getting through again. So 3 damage, pin shove again. And we'll give them a shove back. nice. Solid turn. Oops. From our first here. So, 2 control tokens for 3. Back to the Separatists. They're getting Dooku. So, Dooku can tell someone within 3 to dash as well as himself. So he can dash that Magna, or both Magnas. We have kind of body blocked over here, so that's going to make that point difficult to take. We can get a body up here, but not 2, I don't think. So that's going to make things interesting as well. Although, I wonder if the dash would be enough to get to this ingress point. I don't think so. I was thinking if I could get to the ingress point, then I could advance over, but I don't think that's going to work. So let's wonder if we set him up. Oh, they're pinned. So I guess we're just removing the pin on them for that. We'll give him a dash. He's going to go towards the center point where there's actually room for him. Move ingress up, but he can only go there, and then he's going to advance. Let's see. Advance towards over here. Be kind of hiding and ready to pop up to that point. So he's gonna flip into Makashi, throw 7 dice. They will not lose their hunker because of Kenobi. 7, and get 1 more defense, dice on defense, which will give them 5 instead of 4. So, expertise on the attack is going to get us 2 crits, and 2 expertise on defense is going to get us 1 block. So 3 blocks. So we're getting 4 steps through for Dooku, and so they are steadfast. Yeah, that's right. They're steadfast with their hunker still. So 4 steps is going to be 7 damage, which would have killed them before, but is not going to now. So, what do I want to do here? We could do reposition. Well, I wonder if reposition actually would let us shove him off. Yeah. I mean, they'll hop back on, but if we can body block somehow. Okay, so we'll do. Well, no, because then we're only getting 1 shove. This doesn't really matter anyway. Let's. doing 7 damage. And I mean, the shove's not really going to matter, so let's just get ourselves off the edge here, keep ourselves on the point a little better, while still giving us room for the Magna to come up whenever their turn happens. We'll do the expose, and do the heal. Heal and dash. It's not really going to help us at all. So, no, we'll leave that alone, because we're actually preventing the flip on that point. Dooku's turn, unfortunately, for him. So that'll just be 2 points for our Separatists. Gain a momentum. Over to the Republic, who's going to get Rex. And Rex is going to, as we would do before, give a dash to Anakin. He's going to take the Ingress up for just a little extra movement, and that will give him a hunker. And then I could have been going for that back point too, which is interesting. It's very interesting, actually. But I think we might just double body the center point, unless we try to go for crossing the board, shoving them off, and getting ourselves onto that point. No, let's double up our central position, and yeah, we'll double up the center there. So we'll do a take cover, or no, we don't want to attack Dooku. Well, yeah. So we'll do our move first. Hoping to get in range of someone else to attack. Someone like Kalani. But we are going to be out, so that's not going to work. Now we don't have line of sight to Magnus, so we'll pay 1 defensive maneuver, dash, take the Ingress up, and so we will be engaged with Dooku. You don't really want to throw a stray attack into Dooku too badly, because he will just turn off the hits and get a 5 dice attack back, which is not great. So I think maybe with our defensive maneuver there, we got a hunker, and so Bring It On Clankers gave us a recover. So we're gonna take expose off of the 501st. We could do, and then we could do a take cover action, get another hunker, and take another damage off the 501st. We're gonna do that. Really make it difficult to take that point, hopefully. So we got another 3, and it's back to Separatists, who are getting their Shatterpoint. Now, what could we do with Shatterpoint? So if Kalani goes, well, I can't really get Magnagard up there. That's the problem. Well, yeah. Problem is, so Kalani could recover, move, recover the pin, move, have the B1, try to get the last 2 damage through on the 501st, but they are hunkered, so you're getting 2 extra dice. B1s don't have great attack here. Because we basically need to kill the 501st and push, get another body up there and or push Rex off. Dooku could also kind of run over to that point, which is interesting. I wonder, what's towards? Yeah, if the Magnagard went straight this way, if he wounded the 501st, and the Magnagard went protection protocol that way, then we could steal that point and that point for a 4-point turn. So I think that's what we're going to be doing here. So Dooku's going to go, Magnagard. This guy could get a dash. I'm going to actually dash him up here, just that he's got the elevation to cross over. And then he's going to do a dash just within, or just over here. We do want to be out of range of melee for Rex, so maybe we do have to be kind of over here. Yeah, okay. Because, yeah, plan is wound 501st. We're not going to flip that point, but then we're going to move over there to try to take that point. And then our Magnagard is going to protection protocol over here to take that point. So 7 dice again, 5 dice on defense for the first. Ooh, and we're getting 4 expertise on that roll, which is just 2 blocks. 2 becomes 2 crits, I believe. So we're getting 4 through again. So we'll take the reposition. So we can reposition over there. So we don't act, well, we're gonna do our move action anyway. Shove doesn't really matter. All the damage doesn't really matter. So we'll throw the expose back on. And they will become wounded. So that'll give us some momentum. Yeah, that's that. So then he's going to do a move. Be right on top, right on this point, up against the crate. And so our Magnagard over here is going to do protection protocol over here. which is within 2 of this point, and so we will flip both of those for 4 points. Line us on the middle, each get a momentum. So the first turn of Dooku's wasn't great, but the second turn definitely was. We're getting Cody now. So Cody, he's definitely going to want to shoot. Throw and expose into Dooku, which is good. But we're definitely going to want that attack to be ranged. Wonder if we actually... I wonder if he actually goes for the B1s here, just to guarantee that we flip that, and he'd throw the expose onto Dooku, but yeah, shoot at the B1s. Let someone else deal with Dooku. So he's going to, yeah, jump. It does have to be toward the objective, but we can still go this way. Dooku is, of course, within 3. Then we're going to want to be outside of range 2. So, defensive maneuver outside of range 2 of the B1s. And take a shot at them. So that cost of force, and will gain us a hunker. And we ignore cover, so they're not going to get their extra dice from hunker and terrain. We'll be rolling 9 because we got to do our focus action to get our 9 dice. And they're going to be rolling 4 on defense. 2 expertise, which become 1 block. Oops, for B1s. Okay, 2 expertise, which will become a crit, a hit, and a damage. Crit, damage. So 2 blocks. That'll leave us with 5 results, which will get us going, if we go straight, so it'll be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pin strain. So we are going to need the shoves, so which will get us our active ability, which we already used, but anyway. So we're going to do 7. We'll see if they're still on the objective after the shoves. So let's shove them to the edge and then off. That should put them well off the point. Yep. And he's going to do the follow-up. And so the whole 7 will go through. And yeah, that'll be Cody. He will flip this for 2. That's back to the Separatists. We're going to get Asajj. So who does Asajj want to wound? Potentially. she's got 2 secondaries in range. We max out at 8 on this side. That's the thing, no one's really buttered up and ready here. We can get 10 on the other side, but But, I mean, if we get over... Yeah. On Makashi, we could get double shove. Try and get Cody off. But, I mean, he can just run back on is the problem. Which is the problem with this Kenobi hunker shenanigans. We might have to wait until there's a little bit more damage on people. We've only used... Is that right? Yeah, we've only used 1 force, so let's reserve her for now. I mean, we could double body that, because when she moves, then the Magna Guard is also going to get to move. But, anyway, let's see. We're getting Django here, so... Django could definitely just walk over, pull Rex off. You don't want to throw a random attack into him because then he's going to move. Could throw an attack into Cody if we end up in range. So, oh no, I think he's going to need the movement though. Let's see. Move, and then we pay 1 for jetpack. And then pay 1 for capture wire. And so he's going to go... Ooh, can we actually pull him in a way that puts him at a lower elevation? Oh yeah, I guess we could do that. So yeah, we pull him this way. He basically hits the building slash Magna Guard and has to sit down there. And then we will need our focus action in order to hop over here. And that'll take this point for 4. So interestingly, it might seem a little ironic, I guess, but well, no, that's not true. I was about to say that the Republic is acting as the aggro list while the Separatists are doing more control, but the Separatists are the ones that wounded, but they're doing more focus fire while Republic is just kind of throwing damage everywhere. And we'll see how that pans out. Who's next? 212th. So 212th could definitely outbody Dooku. Dooku is exposed, so that's interesting. I wonder... Because Cody is range 4 for his reroll bubble. The thing is, well, they'd want to focus for the extra dice, but I mean, even just the 6. If they can get in range for the rerolls, you know, if it gets some okay damage into Dooku, but Yeah, Rex is within 2. If we could actually wound Django, then yeah, Rex would take that point, and we could just come up and outbody Dooku over here. I think that's what we'll do. So we do need to be within the range bubble for the rerolls, which I don't know if this one can get. So we need the hunker and yep, that'll work. Okay. Now does that body block this guy? Nope. Put him there. Okay. So they are. That was defensive maneuver for a force, and they get a hunker. That's how they're gonna get the rerolls from Cody. So we're rolling 6 dice. Django is rolling 5. So the fair one will shoot first. The thing is, we don't actually want to shove him off because then the second one can't shoot him. And then they'll be tied on the ground. So we have a fail to reroll, which we reroll into another fail. Django 2 is 2, so 3 blocks. So just the expertise, the 2 expertise from the 2/12 is getting through, which will get us effectively 2 crits. And 2 crits will get us 2 damage, pin and shove. So we're going to have to full tree in order to wound Django here. But the other one's going to attack anyway. I don't think we can, because I don't think we can shove in a way. Well, maybe actually. We definitely got the range. If we could shove him off this way, we might be able to get another shove to get him out. So maybe let's do that. This guy, okay, shove. There. They might already be out actually, but we'll shoot him again. Same thing. So we've got 1 fail to reroll again. We're getting a hit instead. Django. 1 expertise becomes 2 blocks, so 5 blocks. Again, 3 expertise, effectively 2 crits. Gonna be getting through. So the pin will become a damage this time for 3 damage and a shove. And so we'll shove him back over here. And then we'll do our move action, where we will pop up in range of, yeah, to flip that. Our body Rex will get that one from the ground. So we get 3 points here. And back to the Separatists. Now, there still isn't any damage on people, but it would be easy for Asajj to get in range of Rex, but if you attack him, he could dash up onto the point, preventing that from being taken. Should definitely get there, but so yeah, I think we see who's next, and it is Magna Guards. So they can again, you attack, he just comes back. So I think we just move forward. That's going to take that point, climb up. That's going to take that. And we could recover too while we're at it. Make it harder to take that. Take them, wound them anyway. Flip one, get 3. Shatterpoint. Alright, is Anakin ready to ruin someone's day? We've got Magna Guard. They would be kind of the best target because that would flip, if we wound them, that flips 2 points for us for 4. So I think that's the thing. We'll only refresh 1 force from it. We don't get all his other fancy things, but he's still in the deck as well. So he could go for someone like Django or Kalani after that. So yeah. Anakin will, let's see, not quite. So we're going to need the jump. So this will kind of use up all of our force. But yeah, we'll do the move. And then we gotta do the jump. And so we'll be in Killy side and throw 8 dice at our problems. Magna does have 5. 3 expertise. I wonder. Oh yeah, the Magna Guard should have been giving Django cover. Oops, from Bodyguard. Anyway, 5 defense and 8 dice. Ooh, that's 3 fails. 4 hits. They're getting 2 blocks. 3 blocks. So it's a hit and whatever the expertise gives me, which is a crit. So it's 2 steps for 5 damage. Should I have been getting a Quarry Fire? Well, I don't really want to pay for it. So no. So we're gonna have to swing again. It'll cost 2, but we'll get a force back. We'll use the last of our force. And we'll swing same side. So we're gonna sit there anyway. Expertise again gets us 2 blocks. 2 2 for Anakin gets us 2 crits. That would have been nice on the last roll. So this time we're getting 4 through, which would have been 8 damage, which is what we needed. We could have got that on the first one, but anyway, we will wound them. So note that 10 health wouldn't have made any difference on that. But they will be wounded and strained and pinned. So that will get us a momentum. It will refresh a force. And it will flip 2 points for us. And now we're going to get 4 points. Okay. So, Asajj, are you ready to do something? Well, now Magna Guard's already been doing anything for us. Is their move? And of course, Magna Guard's just went, but I think we want, it's going to be B1s. I think we want them to go first to get someone ready to be wounded. And yeah, maybe, I don't know. It's not actually a great option either. But it's what we got. Because, well, yeah, if we attack, well, again, if we attack Rex, he's just going to dash up onto the point. Can we even fit where we need to be on this point? Because we have to do a full move. Unless we fish for that reposition. But, yeah, no, that doesn't work. Because, I wonder if we take cover this way, then we could get in range of the ingress. But can we actually fit anywhere up here? I don't think so. Huh. That's a problem. No, I think they gotta just double body this one then. Which is no good. But we throw a couple attacks into Cody first and then move up to body it. Because we kind of want to do it at range, not melee. Right. Yeah, so 7, 8 actually, because of Kalani. He's going to be rolling 4, 5, 6 from his hunker and cover. Oh boy, no fails. 3 of them are expertise. I'll get him 2 blocks. Or 4 of them are expertise. A lot of fails on B1 side. So expertise becoming a hit. So that'll be completely blocked. Yeah, I think we just keep that as is. Expertise kind a hit for the V1s. 4 will become 2 for Cody. So we are getting 3 through on this one. So that'll do 4 reposition and disarm. Or expose, I mean. So, well, now we could have actually taken that point. But it's one or the other now, so reposition him up. And then we'll do our move action, which this guy will dash over here. This guy will climb up here. And so we'll flip that for 2 and a momentum each. Back to the public. Kenobi. So we have no force to reserve him. So he's going to have to go. And his threat range is not great at the moment. We have one. For hello there, potentially. Wow, I think he could definitely come up and wound these B1s as long as I can get close enough. So move, spend our force to jump. Yeah. So we're looking for a wound in 4 points, which would end the struggle for us. So hello there, we'll add 3 dice to his attack for 10 in melee. B1s will have 3, so should be a pretty easy wound on this. Yeah. A block and expertise, which the expertise is 0. So 1 block. 2, oh, that one's kind of sideways, there we go. 2 expertise for Obi-Wan. Gets us a crit and a hit. And so block 1, so that'll be 6 down the tree, which should be enough to get the 3, I guess, with protection damage through. What if we take the way to get the jump out of this? Just get him positioned a little better, more into the board. Yeah. So that'll be 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. Get the wound. And we'll throw a disarm and expose on there, because why not? And get a shove. And I'll just bump into Cody here. And a jump. Just make it easy for him to get wherever he needs to go. So I will get a momentum and 4 to finish off this struggle. Okay, so the Separatists are getting this one, and Asajj is next. She's over here. What's going to be easier? We know Anakin's next over there as well. So, yeah, I think these 2 points are open. So I think we're going to go with those. even though that leaves this one active. So these are fancy ones with the tokens. So that and that. And, you know, that may cause Anakin to have to just, like, run away back there. Even though it's also not great for us right now. But what can you do? So, yeah. Okay, so we'll roll for priority. It's the block, which is this one. Now, yeah, we'd have to shove. Yeah, we'd have to shove someone and force push someone. So we actually have to basically shove Obi-Wan because he doesn't have a hunker to just go back on. Let's see if we can actually make it to this point. Might only be able to tie it if we need to do a take cover to get up there. No, it should be okay. Okay, jump. Oopsie daisies. And advance. And that'll get her up. But this B1 is kind of in the way of actually being in melee with Kenobi here. So and there's no shoves on Jark High, so that's no good. So I think this is this might be a 0 point turn here. So do we want to force push Cody or Obi-Wan away? I mean, unless you jump, try to actually do an attack. But even if you get jump off the or force push off the tree, there's no shows. So that's not ideal. If we're in range of Obi-Wan, then I think we force push him. I believe we're engaged with Cody for next time. So we'll spend 2 to force push. And we'll push him this way. Leave him with his buddy Rex. And yeah, that'll be 0 points, I guess. I mean, I guess I could have gone over here and get a point, but I thought, I guess I didn't think about where Asajj would actually sit in order to make that play. So, not enough forward planning on that one. that lands us back on the 0, which actually gives us each a momentum. We refresh our force. Now Anakin is going to get to go. And he has no force left, so he's pretty much going to have to go for one of those 2 points. It's the expertise, which is over here. So, yeah, it looks like we're going to be just advancing over Hunker. And that'll be, actually, we will stay over here to kind of come back into the board and threaten things. But that will be a very exciting turn for Anakin, where we get 2 points. Finally control something. But we get all our force back, so now we're fresh again. And because the flip was so poor for the Separatists, this might actually be a 2-struggle game. I know Republic got a lot of buffs. I don't know that we're really seeing a ton of effects from the buffs, other than 5 first, that 1 health point making a difference. I mean, the expertise got us some things through for 2/12 as well. Asajj hasn't gotten to do an attack yet, but I wasn't really able to get Anakin to shine yet. I wouldn't blame this on nerfs to Mega Guards or Django. I do think that the Separatists, or at least this, droids focused Separatist list, is having a bit of trouble with the Obi-Wan Hunker shenanigans here, because they really don't have they're having trouble getting through the steadfast, and then even if they do, it's like, well, now he's going to be able to dash. So anyway, priorities over there again. Let's see. Point is tied. Django is next. So, but pinned. Let's see. If he's within 3, I could just pull him off and leave that for Asajj. And then attempt. So he is pinned, but if we could get over there. Jump. Advance. I don't think that's close enough, though. It needs to not be pinned. It needs to not be pinned. Advance. Could get to this point to tie it. But then we're sitting there ready to be wounded by Anakin. See in wounding range. If we wound Cody, that takes one of our actions, though. Yeah. If we wound Cody, we get a refresh and 2 heals, which does help us get rid of the pin. jump, move, capture wire. I'm gonna actually sit down here, capture wire. Just can't be too close. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's try it. So, well, we're engaged with Obi-Wan, so we can't shoot him. So, yeah, this is not looking good. I think we have to reserve him. He's not really. He can get us 1 point, but we need more than that. Asajj. So, yeah, let's see what happens when Asajj gets to wound a primary or secondary. Or it would be a secondary, but yeah. So we get to refresh one, so that's nice. Problem is we can't leave that point. But let's do the fun things. Roll the dice. Which you will roll. You probably want to just straight up damage. We need 5. Which is 3 steps on Makashi, 3 steps on Jarkai. A little more consistent on Makashi. Well, the second result. Yeah. Need a heal. I think we'll stay on Makashi. So 7 dice. He's got exposed for 5. So it's Obi-Wan exposed, so he'll get 1 block. So expertise. There we go. We only got 1, so we'll get our 2 crits out of that. 1 block. So we'll get 6 for a full 3. That's fun. Interesting. So, what's all the fun things we can do with this? If we kind of go bottom and then middle, you get a reposition. Oh, yeah, we're not going to get that active buffer tree. Okay, so we'll reposition. We get a shove, but he's steadfast. Definitely get the damage. We'll reposition so that we're more in the board here. Get 3 heals. Is that going to help anybody? Maybe, yeah, I could have repositioned here. And then, yeah, then we can heal Django. So that's going to help his turn. So take away the pin, 2 damage, 3, and yeah, we'll get the wound. So that will get up some momentum. Longer exposed, but now he's wounded. And then we get we refresh a force, and then we may reposition or jump, but we need to stay on the point, unfortunately. But Good if we could have done that on the last turn. Well, yeah, so why didn't you do that on the last turn? Yeah, could have gone for the wound. And then got into position to force push. Oh, did I even take a second action? I don't think I took a second action. So yeah, that could have happened last turn. Yep, oops, okay. Anyway, we have that point now. So we'll get to, I'll get us each a momentum. We'll pass it on to Rex. What can Rex do? Let's see where the party is. It's the one we have already. So Rex could get 212 onto the point. If you could shut Asajj off, that would be helpful as well. But maybe we just go for some damage on Django or Kalani. Well, especially if we get damage onto Django, he's gonna be having a bad time because I mean, we might be able to even wound him, but we could also get the pin on him again. Potentially, it would take 4 steps to wound, or 4 steps to get the pin. But okay, yeah, we're gonna move. We're gonna dash and hunker our. Oops, not 501st, our 212th. Then he's gonna do an attack into Django. 7 on 5. Two expertise will be 2 blocks. 3 expertise will be 2 crits. So 3 crits getting through. So 5 damage and expose, I guess. So we'll put him 1 away. Should I have paid 1? Or no, actually. Yeah, I could coordinate fire, pin him. He's within 5. That's for free. Thank you, 212. So yeah, 1 away and pinned. So that is very nice, very nice. Then he's gonna defensive maneuver. Get his hunker back. And do a move action. Over to the ladder and up. And that will get that for 3. And so yeah, let's see. It's the Anakin's point again. Django again is pinned, but no, we could do it because we did. Yeah, because that's what we planned out last time. So we focus to get rid of the pin because it gives us a jump. We jetpack for one. And then do a move action right up against the ladder, which is hopefully in range. Yep. And then we do capture wire, which is going to throw the pin on Anakin. It's at range 2. Pull about there. As now we're the ones in range of that point. We'll flip it for 3, which will get us both a momentum. And back to the Republic, 2/12. So 2/12 are ready to take that point. The priority is the one that Jango is on, though, which could be taken easily by Anakin. 501st. Yeah, 501st would be great. We could actually flip both points. Obi-Wan could also go grab that, so I think we're paying 1 to reserve 2/12. We're getting Anakin, or we're getting Obi-Wan, who could use patience. Does patience actually get us close enough, though? It'd have to be over here. No, patience wouldn't get us close enough. Do we swap them into reserve? Swap him into reserve, hoping to get the 501st or Shatterpoint or Anakin. Well, yeah. So yeah, 501st can take both points just by moving. Anakin can, well, he can. Anakin can boot a secondary. Jango, take this point. A bunch of people dash. I don't know if the dash would get. Yeah, dash might not get him in range. So that doesn't quite work. To get both anyway. But you definitely get the 3 points. So okay, so that's half our cards. Shatterpoint could do that. And then it's Cody. And Cody waking up could take that point for 2. So yeah, I think we swap Obi-Wan into reserve, put the 2/12 on the bottom, and see who's next, and it's a Shatterpoint. So we're going to wake up a 501st, and they are going to move. So I'm no longer hunkered. Really expose. Move. And you can even take a shot at. So yeah, Magna Guards are wounded. Move. So now we're outbutting there. We're going to flip both points, but let's also take a shot at Jango, see if we get the momentum, and finish off this game. What expertise will be 2 blocks for Jango. And we are getting a crit, which will do a damage and a pin for the wound on Jango, and flip all the points for 4, and that'll be the game in 2 struggles for the Republic. So a few things at play here. I think one of them being, as much as I hate to admit it, I think player 2 advantage had an effect on shifting priorities here. Well, partially because Kalani was very blocked off by this building, so maybe not the right side to pick for the Separatists here, because otherwise they would have been controlling 3 points at least from the first turn rather than only 2, and so the Republic was able to capitalize on that by just easily taking 3 and then kind of steamrolling from there. Strangely, struggle 1. The Republic was definitely spreading out the damage, and so that meant that by the end of struggle 1 and going into struggle 2, there were a lot of people ready to be wounded, whereas the Separatists were struggling because it's a lot harder to chip damage into a team with Obi-Wan where everybody is hunkering, especially because then like you don't have the shoves and pins. Well, even pins don't work, so you just really can't get them off the point displacement wise, other than using Django's pull, Asajj's push, and so maybe they should have just taken some of those attacks anyway, just to start getting the damage so that they could get the wound later. But basically they wounded 2 people, the 501st and Cody, but nobody else had any damage on them. So that did kind of make Asajj's turn, like she was a little stuck because she wanted to be able to wound somebody, but yeah, couldn't until it was kind of too late. So I do think her attack was quite solid. That expertise of 2 crits right away on Makashi is nice. I think we got 2, not 3, so we didn't really feel the effects, I guess, of the changed expertise there. Shove on 1 is nice, though we got 3 we got 3 or 4, or maybe full tree on that actually. So, we did hit that extra damage at the end. Magna Guard, again, 1 health down, didn't really have an effect. We didn't actually see them attack, just because the melee only made things a little awkward there by the time they went. So I don't know. I did kind of rush to set up this board and just kind of come up with something. So maybe there's a balance issue in the board as well. But I just also think that this is not a favorable matchup, because they have trouble getting through steadfast, and then without getting people off the points, then it's not making the Republic burn their hunkers, so that next time they don't have that dash back. And yeah, Anakin, honestly, I don't think I felt the effects of his. Well, I guess the one thing I did feel the change for is that refresh. We got the 1 refresh for wounding the support, so that was welcome. That allowed Obi-Wan to have a meaningful turn. So, so yeah, a nice upgrade there. We didn't quite quite get to see the entire board dash off of him wounding a secondary, but he still feels a little bit like you're locked into, in order to get the most out of him, you still need to be winning those secondaries and primaries, where sometimes it's just not the right play, as we saw in this game. So so yeah, I think they did a good job of making him feel the same, but just be better, like more reward for the play pattern that they kind of want him to do. 2/12th attack was solid. That was nice. Cody also solid attack. Kind of stuck with that active ability at the end, which like you want to have already used by the time you do your attack. But the improved expertise is definitely welcome, and that jump, being able to jump to an ingress point and then defensive maneuver on that got us to the midline, allowing us to focus. So definitely a very nice improvement from for Cody, which I was excited about, because I did like him when I first on release, and I really like his bring it down, giving those rerolls to your supports. I think that is something that does help often, even though one of them I rerolled back into a fail, but I think it does often help the 2/12th, especially to get a little farther down their tree. But yeah, their expertise, the 2/12th expertise, definitely made their attacks very consistent, because everything, all the hits were going to be blocked. So upgrading one of them to a crit, nice and consistent for those two steps. So let me know what you thought of the game in the comments. Hopefully this doesn't fuel the fire of people who think Separatists are dead. I just think this isn't necessarily the matchup that you want as the Separatist player. So I look forward to trying them again in other things. I also don't really like the B1s. I think Kalani's maybe falling, if you can pin shove Kalani, he's not super happy either. So yeah, a few factors there. So maybe next time I'll come back with a more optimized Separatist team, and we'll give them another go to see what they can do. But thank you for watching. Also, by the time this comes out, I may have already done the first giveaway for my Patreon, on Patreon, but I will be having more giveaways in the near future through Patreon, so go there and check it out. I've got different tier levels, and I think for the TV and books and comics nerd levels, you can make suggestions as to what teams I play next, because there's a lot of stuff to try out there. So through that, you'll have the ability to pick my teams and suggest what teams are appearing in my next battle reports. So check that out. Also, if you like the diagonal gantries, the hexagon platforms, check out my Etsy dynamic designs, and yeah, we'll see you next time.